Oh, hey guys. Sorry, I was just, appreciating modern art here. It's really something, isn't it? Yeah, I don't really get it myself, but, it just makes me feel something. A mixture of sadness, distraught, and pure fucking anger. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Veras channel. I am that person, this is that channel, blah blah blah, you get the fucking point. Today we are going to be talking about a game that I didn't know existed until last week. Today we are talking about Clown Kid in Crazy Chase. No, you did not just stroke out there, that is the name of the actual game. This game was developed by Kemco, whoever they are, and was released for the Super Nintendo in October of 1994. The story follows Clown Kid on his quest to save Princess Honey from the evil Blackjack, and we're apparently the only klutz that can save her. Right off the bat, already got a bit of a charm, just insults you right off the bat, where it's like, yeah, you're the only moron in this entire kingdom that can save us. You are so stupid that you're our only hope. For 1994, this is actually very fascinating type of writing because this wasn't really around too much back in the day. I think of games like maybe like Earthworm Jim, where it kind of had that style of writing to it, and even the TV show. But in terms of like games and stuff, you didn't really see this very often. So this is actually kind of a unique thing for the time. The game also has very beautiful visuals. The squash and stretch animation used in tandem with the pixel art is really well done. The exaggeration in a lot of the frames is very beautiful, and I love how they realize it in pixel art form, and it's all fantastic. The isometric positioning on the game was actually also done extremely well, and actually kind of rare for the time that this came out. Not to mention, every time you get hurt by something in this game, there's a unique hurt frame for it. Speaking of things hurting you, everything in this fucking game hurts you. When the opening said that you're the only klutz good enough to save us, they weren't kidding. I'm talking everything from logs to fire hydrants to manhole covers that can move, small, tiny, microscopic spikes in the floor, ice blocks that fall from the sky, balloons that are actually supposed to help you, but in this case, they'll either drop bombs or lift you up and drop you for no reason, or sometimes they just straight up explode. And even starting the fucking levels hurts you. Speaking of the levels, there are 5 levels where your objective is to chase the bomb detonator and collect 4 card sweet orbs in order to disarm the bomb, even though every time you get to the end of the level, he just kicks it and it's fine. So you'd think that you could just do that every single time, but nope, you need to collect the stupid cards. There are also hidden bonus levels in this game that are hidden away, kind of similar to Donkey Kong Country. I only found 2 of them though. These were like hidden really well. And you might be thinking to yourself, okay, this is all interesting. This is fascinating. But the game is isometric, so how does it play? So in this game, all you can really do is move left and right, speed up your character, which basically makes you go down, or you can slow down your character, which makes you stop moving. You're not allowed to go back up. You can only slow down and speed up your character, and then you can jump. That's pretty much all you can do. There's also a bunch of different control schemes for this game. There's this one, there's this one, there's... What the actual fuck? Am I expected to hold the controller upside down for this one? Like, what? I get that this is supposed to be like clown themed, it's supposed to be silly, but what the actual fuck? So I decided to pick this control scheme, which moving left and right is controlled with L and R. You move up and down by using the D-pad up and down, and you jump by using any of the other buttons, pretty much. I'm sure that the standard one would have been fine, but something about this specific control scheme just seemed like it would have been the easiest. This was before I even touched the game. I just have a funny feeling that this is probably going to be the best control scheme. You know, the forklift style control scheme. This could be part of the reason why my experience with this game sucks so bad. As I said, the levels are pretty standard. You just gotta make your way through the levels, avoid all the traps, and make sure that you get to the end with all those card sweet orbs in hand while disarming the bomb, and then you can move on to the next level. The music in this game is actually a lot of fun. There's quite a bit of charm to it. However, the music does get a bit maddening at times, because if you miss any of the card sweet orbs, you literally have to go back and restart the level all over again just to grab the ones that you missed. I heard this music so many times to the point where I still hear clown music and sound effects in my dreams. Level 1 is pretty standard, as it is with most games of this type. You start in the woods. Inside these woods, there are, as I mentioned earlier, logs. There are also bushes and little wet puddles that apparently take away your health, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then there's cannons. Because why the fuck not? It's a clown game, so yeah, let's put heavy artillery in the middle of a forest. All in all, though, the first level's pretty standard, teaches you the mechanics pretty well, and that's about it. Oh, here comes our asshole in shining armor now. Also, every time you start over, he restrings the bomb. Which it's like, brother, just move on with your life. How many fucking bombs does this guy have? Somebody get this man through fucking TSA so I don't have to deal with him anymore. The next level that you go to is a city, which adds more chaotic things, like tires coming out of fences, cars, so that you can get run over in the middle of the street, signs, which you have to jump over like Olympic hurdles. The more and more things that you run into in this game, and the more and more times that you have to restart the levels, or you might die and you get a game over, you kind of start to realize how annoying this game is going to be going forward. Level 2 isn't enough to make you start ripping your hair out or anything. It gets very annoying, like I said earlier, with the moving manhole covers and this asshole appearing out of every goddamn corner of the map. But overall, it is a natural progression of the difficulty of level 1, so it's not that bad. And then level 3 happened. So the next level is Volcano. You know, as with any clown media, you know, the natural progression of things is woods, city, active volcano. This level just keeps adding and adding to the chaotic bullshit that you have to deal with throughout this game. There's falling boulders, there's lava oozing out of every orifice of this level, on top of every other basic thing that they like to have in there, like the spikes and the big holes and the Indiana Jones moments. Every time you don't collect every card suite, or every time you might die, it really starts to weigh on you at this point, because the levels just keep progressively getting longer and longer and longer, and the traps are getting more elaborate. If I see the villain one more time, I'm going to choke slam him into the wall. Overall, though, the volcano level is fine. Again, natural progression of difficulty, but I am starting to get worried about what hell awaits me going forward. At least, that's what I was thinking. Poor, naive Veras thinking that, oh, can't possibly get any more difficult than this. Or at least if it does, it's got to feel like a natural progression of level 3. So even if it's a little bit more difficult, you know, I might die a few more times, you know, I might have to backtrack a few more times, but it should be fine overall. Right? This entire level is made of ice, which means the whole thing is slippery. Something I didn't even start picking up on until this point in the game is that the balloons that you have to collect things out of sometimes will have different objects in them than they did before in previous runs. So adding on to that level of hell, you've also got to deal with ice cubes, ice shards, ice geysers, and this bullshit snowmobile chase area where every time you step in front of this guy, he takes his super scope and shoots ice out of it. And I feel like every fucking time I had to get into this point, I could not dodge it for the life of me, and it took me like 20 times minimum to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do. Thankfully, I figured out that all you have to do is stick to one side, and as soon as he starts approaching you, just jump to the other side. He'll shoot it, he'll miss, and you'll be on the other side, and you just gotta repeat it over and over verbatim until he stops shooting at you. And it is such bullshit. Especially if you finally get to that point, your HP is low and you die and you have to do it all over again because your HP does not reset. If you go to the end of the level and you miss a single card suite and you have to restart, your health does not reset. You keep the health that you had when you finished the level. The only way your health is going to return to full is if you die. It does not reset when you go to a new level. It does not reset when you restart it, not collecting all the card suites. You have to die to get your health back. The only other way to get health back is by collecting these little HP orbs sprinkled throughout the level, but sometimes as you get farther and farther into the game, they're farther and fewer in between. They're harder to get to than they were before, and it's honestly worth it just to keep going rather than risking getting the HP bubble only to die and lose it anyway. The amount of retries of having to do this level over and over and over and over again were getting so annoying and so frustrating. I actually considered not doing this game as a review at all and moving on to find a different game, but I stuck to it. I just had to at this point. There was some part of me that refused to let go until I finished this game. I was not going to let it beat me. Now, unfortunately, I did have to use save states. I know, but as with all videos on this channel, I always follow the good word of the Lord with every video that I record. And as you can clearly see, he said it's okay, So as I maneuvered through this iced over hellish landscape, finally reached the end, finally got all the card suites after several thousand attempts. Surely the next level has to get easier. It's in the dark. Fuck! Yup, it's in the dark. It's hard to see, and I can't... There is now a ghost following me throughout the entire level, and it won't leave me alone, and if it catches you, it triggers this animation that sends you flying forward. There's even these falling pitchforks that triggers this nose falling off cutscene that can't be skipped. Now, if you mash the B button, it does speed up a lot of these animations so you can get going a lot faster. However, even sometimes if you're mashing the B button, that ghost that's chasing you is gonna catch up to you, it's gonna trigger the pain, and then you're gonna either fly forward into another trap, or you're just gonna lose all your health and die, and you're gonna have to start over again anyway. Thankfully, I got to the end of the level. It was finally done. What is my reward? My reward is that I get the average ending. So I saved the princess, and when we bring her back, she is set off to be wed with some supposed stud that she's talking about, and leaves Clown Kid without even so much as really a thank you for saving her life. So you might be wondering, well then how the hell do you get the good ending in this game? If you can beat the levels without dying, then you receive a honey heart, which if you collect all 5 of those throughout the levels, then you get the best ending. Except at this point, I kind of stopped giving a shit about this game altogether and started caring more about the safety of me and the controller that I was using, so I decided to just stop. And your secondary reward, much like the last game I reviewed on this channel, is you get a hard mode. Yup, as if this game wasn't hard enough, there's a faster timer, and I swear getting to the end while getting the sweets feels impossible. I struggled so much on level 1 that I just decided to turn the game off. Oh, and did I mention that this isn't the only game in the series? Kid Klown and Crazy Chase 2, which was a Japan-only sequel made for the PlayStation 1. There was a GBA remake in 2002 with 11 more levels, mini-games, and a multiplayer. And Japan never got it because they're sane. A Japan-exclusive Game Boy game that I can't quite pronounce, Kid Klown in Nightmare World, which fuck you, that's for the NES. And if I'm reading this correctly, and I am, The Bombing Islands for the PS1. Clown Kid is a great character with an interesting concept and silly story, with witty writing and fun music. But the game itself is an unforgiving nightmare sprint with little to no reward at the end of the game unless done perfectly. This game to me felt like Pac-Man 2 The New Adventures, and if your game feels like Pac-Man 2 The New Adventures, then you fucked up and you need to restart from scratch. Well, not... I almost said Nightmare Kid. While Kid Klown in Cow Kid. What is the name of this fucking game? While Clown Kid in Crazy Chase is an interesting game for the SNES, stands as a testament to technological marvel for the time, and has a lot to offer in terms of its art direction and its gameplay and its writing. It offers hair-pulling gameplay with such a bittersweet ending and reward that I cannot recommend this to anyone. As I mentioned earlier, I had to use save states for this game, and while I don't like using save states and I don't like doing any of this stuff improperly, and I like to play the game as intended, because if you get a game over in this game, you have to start the whole game over again, and I'm not fucking doing that. You can call me a hack in the comments if you want. You can say that it's like, oh, you're not a real reviewer, you're not a real gamer. I don't care, to be completely honest with you. Anyways, do I recommend Clown Kid? No. I mean, you can play the first level and be like, that was fun, and then remember it as a good game. The character designs in this game are really cool. I like the writing, and I really like the concept that a lot of this game brings, but it's just way too difficult and way too unforgiving. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about Clown Kid and Crazy Chase. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next review. See you later. God fucking damn it.